to see you, man. Welcome to Pop Trinity.
Good to see you too. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's interesting. There's a lot I play with Sneaks, right? Even before actually going and like doing the voices and filming it. Like, what stands out, so to speak, in regards to like the big themes or the big things that play when you sign on for a project like this? Is it like just the talking sneakers? Is it the adventure? Like, I'm just curious.
It's specifically for my character. It was really cool the way it kind of came about. It was kind of like one night I was playing video games a Friday night, and they're like, hey, there's this movie called Sneaks that they're interested in you. Would you like to be a part of it? And so, they sent me whatever, like, of my scene and kind of what I was going to do, of the details that they had. And I was like, basketball, sneakers, hip hop. Yeah, that checks all my boxes. I'm down. And then learning the cast of who's in it, I'm like, oh my God, like this is awesome. And then Monday morning, I'm recording. It just like that. I mean, that usually doesn't happen. And so in this case, it kind of just, I got the opportunity. I said yes, and we filmed it, and then bam. And now here we are. It's about to come out on Friday, April 18th. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool how it's now here.
So at some point before you go and record the voices, you do get scripts for this movie, right? Like you get the script at some point.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, does it read like a adventure movie with basketball and sneakers in it? Or does it read as like a sports movie that is an adventure? Because you can look at it two ways. I always find that interesting with sports movies, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, for sure. Because, I mean, it's about the journey that they take to get there. So, like, obviously that's chaotic. And then, so I wasn't given the full script. I was given my part. But as I was recording, they would tell me, like, okay, later on, this happens. That's why your character does this and whatever. And so knowing what I knew later, I'm like, yeah, because so much zaniness and so much things were happening that, and it's in my scene, in the pickup game, it's kind of the first instance in where Ty, Anthony Mackie's character, kind of figures out that he has that, everyone around him sees that there's something special about him, and that kind of sets forward the journey even more. I'm the bad, tough guy, Ice, but yet, he does these things that are not a lot of sneakers can do, and that's what's really cool about it.
Absolutely. It's interesting because you do mention that, people are going to be able to see it in theaters, on Friday, which is really exciting. You've dealt with this a lot, and especially with, being on one of the biggest TV shows of all time, this kind of feeling of you make something, you play a waiting game, and then it's out of your hands, and now it's in the world's hands.
Yeah.
When do you think you really started to realize that? Because that's always going to be a weird feeling with a project, right? Was it the Modern Family days?
I think it's what's awesome is that, any role that I've ever taken, I've had a good time with. And that's first and foremost. I want to have a good time. I want to be as kind to everybody as possible and just, like I said, have a good time. And when Modern Family, I was very young. I was 10 years old when we started. But I knew, you just kind of have those gut feelings when you know something is working. And I know I can speak for everybody, as everyone had that same collective, like, okay, this is going to be something. And yeah, we've had so many great success, a lot of accolades, awards, but yet it never felt like that on set. It never felt like we were coming into the best comedy show. It never was like that. It was always like, we're on this show and we hope people watch it. Like, oh, people watch it. And then it's like, it was always that kind of thing. And so, any opportunity that comes about, it's always about being fun. And like the same thing with Sneaks, like I knew recording it was fun because I had a good time recording it, and it was everything that I love in one movie that I knew, okay, this is going to be fun. And for people who know the culture, it's fun to watch, like the Easter eggs and the things that people do, the slang, the what they do on the day-to-day. And then people who haven't learned it for the first time can come into it understanding and appreciate what people, sneakerheads, hype beasts, of what they do on the day-to-day.
And, it's all storytelling at the end of the day, whether you are doing kind of like you're recording your voice or you're doing live action. How separate are past projects compared to something like Sneaks? Like, do you bring mindsets, preparations from past roles, past work to another project, or are they completely separate once you wrap them?
Every project is something unlike the other, as always. And I think with this one, because the turnaround was so fast, it's like I didn't have time to think. I just did. And I think that's what was so much fun, because I went into it and, I did a couple passes of our basketball scene. And then I was like, can I move around? And they're like, yeah, they were encouraging me, move around. So like, I was like, next thing you know, the next pass, I was shooting a jump shot. Like I was miming the jump shot. I was in defensive stances and doing all this and that. it livened it up, and it was a lot more fun because I've never did something like where I had that much movement to portray, and this was a lot of fun to be able to do for the first time. And what a first time to do it with such an awesome cast and great people behind the scenes, and just overall a fun movie.
It's interesting, right? Because people see the amazing voice cast, and like you said, everyone does their roles at certain parts.
Yeah.
Or if like people are gonna ask you, like, what was it like working with this person? Have you ever worked with or met some of the voice cast from Sneaks before? Like, have you met Keith Martin at all? Or
no, I haven't, and that's what's cool because like I looked up to them, like Martin Lawrence. I grew up watching all of his movies. He's hilarious, and Anthony Mackie is freaking Captain America. I mean, like you know what I mean? Like that's crazy, and so. You know, luckily, when I did my recordings, they had recorded their parts for that sequence. So when I was in it, I had them in my headphones, and I was able to listen to them, match their energy, and kind of just have fun with. Because being a fan of them, I already knew what they were gonna sound like, how they're gonna do it, but like putting their little spin on it was really cool.
Absolutely. And then last quick question for you. I bring up this question here and there. I haven't brought this question up for a while. So
Uh-oh.
this would be perfect. This is the middleman question, right? So it's interesting, right? Because, you know, you've been doing this for quite some time. You've been acting for a while, and, you know, people know you as well from a lot of your projects, Married for Modern Family. And, you know, it's interesting, right? Because a lot of people would watch your work and say, wow, you know, one day I want to be in Rico Rodriguez's shoes. I want to maybe be in a sitcom. I want to do this and stuff like that. So they look up to you. You're also, like everyone, growing and learning as you go project to project, right? So you also have those people that Rico Rodriguez looks up to, like you just said. So you're kind of in the middle, which I find really interesting. Do you think about that all? Because it's very interesting. Like, people look up to you, but you also look up to people too in this industry.
It's always such a like a crazy moment when someone comes up to me and is like, you know, thank you for all you've done for like the Latino culture, and thing, you know, because of you, wanted to become an actor, which is crazy because I've met my idols that you know, one of the people that I've wanted to be an actor was Tobey Maguire, because I love my favorite superhero, Spider-Man. And I got to meet him one time, and he couldn't have been more nice, and it was so cool being able to see the people that you look up to, and then also it helps having someone like my sister, who I look up to all the time, who was in my house, and I see her do such amazing things, and I, you know, even though she's shorter than me, I look up to her. You know what I mean? And it's such a cool experience to be able to, like, you know how they always like, oh, idols, you know, they always like phrase like, oh, idols become your rivals, but it's like, in this case, I'm meeting these people, and it just inspires me more. Like, you know, we had Jordan Peele on an episode of Modern Family, you know, years back, and I look up to him because of all. I mean, he's, as a filmmaker that I would like to be one day. I look up to him of how he, you know, his route was comedy, and now he's making these movies that are winning awards, and just, I mean, that's so inspiring. And so to be able to inspire someone, but to continue to inspire people is to continue to be, you know, wanting to learn. And that's the main thing. You're always learning because you're learning new things that you can pass down unironically that you don't even mean to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And well said. And I can't wait for people to see Sneaks in theaters. Rico, so great chatting with you, man. Thanks
Very
so much
nice
for your
to
time.
meet you. Yes.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.